Okay, we're recording. What you're about to watch is an excerpt from one of our long marathon movies that we made, and we have to divide them up. So, hard telling what you're going to see, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting. What do you think? Think they're going to be excited?
Yeah, I do.
Thrilled? Or are they going to hunt us down and hang us from a white oak tree?
I don't know. Does Missouri tree bear strange fruit?
Sometimes.
Hmm. Then there's a possibility.
I don't know. But anyway, we hope you enjoy it. Remember, hit the like and subscribe. Help Grandma build up her escape nest egg so she can get away to some tropical island. And hope you enjoy it. Leave us a message. Everyone tries to avoid the most. If you're not careful, they may find you before you find them. We're back. Say hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandpa.
Hi, Grandpa.
Hi. Welcome to another episode of Adventures in Ice Capades. And Grandma saw something she wanted to watch, so we're going to watch another liberal hive mind. See what he has to say. Some Democrat. Oh, I have to move. You have to move us over so we can read the title. Another Democrat.
You seek inspiration.
Shh. Hush. Says another Democrat mayor leaves the Democrat Party to join Republicans. This is getting insane.
No, they finally seen the light.
Or they smelt the house burning down.
Oh, yeah. Democrat house was a flame.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a flame.
You have to watch while you were at the grocery store. I went on a rant for an hour. It probably... I don't think that you will be able to post it without some severe editing. Otherwise, we will probably have some federal agents knocking on the door and helicopters flying overhead.
That sounds about right for you.
Yeah, I would. But I was watching Black Conservative Perspective, and he was right along there with me. I just used a little more defined terms. His terminology was a little more broad and a little more flexible in interpretation. I left no room for doubt on what my intentions were. I drew the line. You cross this line, I drop you. I do not ask you questions. I said I support these states that have cancel laws. Where if you're feeling threatened, that's all it takes. No questions asked. He was coming at me. He scared me. So I dropped him.
Well, I think we still need that sign. You know, there would not be a warning shot fired. Ammunition.
Damn, it's too expensive.
No warning shot.
Yeah.
Ain't you at your own risk?
See, no. There'll be a warning shot. You just better hope that you hear it, not your buddy. If you heard the warning shot, you're the lucky one.
Run, boss, run.
The guy that didn't hear the warning shot,
Sorry for you.
yeah, huh?
I'm sorry for you.
I'm sorry, yeah, man. Why didn't hear it coming? You didn't see it coming either, did you? No. But
Big solutions come in small packages.
that's right. And they move really fast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get going before we're both in trouble. You got to be outside the bar so you can bail me out, okay? You can't be complicit in this. Yeah, you can't be complicit. Bad thoughts. Bad thoughts.
No.
Beyond the horizon, or find it right before your eyes.
Before we start the video, I just want to let you guys know that we launched a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt of mine.
think we're gonna have to give that squirrel Christmas off. Thing.
What kind of internet you got? Squirrel?
Squirrel. Nuts.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, ever since Donald Trump hit the political scene, people have been...
Okay, I'm trying to see this. It's a building that says CNN.
It looks like a mosque with CNN on it.
A mosque.
It looks like a mosque.
Okay.
You know, a Muslim church.
Yeah, no, I was just seeing if there was some kind of hidden message elsewhere that we're not seeing, you know.
No, you see how they're far out there, there's nothing around them?
Yeah, well, I didn't know, you know, if like, you know, over in one, there might have been something or somebody or, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I was doing, was studying to see the... Okay.
talking so much about timelines. This is the most interesting timeline. The world has gone crazy and we are living in clown world. To a certain extent it's true, and it's especially true when it comes to political predictions. People have generally used historic trends to be able to make predictions. While some of those trends are still proved accurate, a lot of them just don't work anymore. We live in different times, and there are just so many anomalies at play. And this year there are two specifically that we've been focusing on. The first is an absolutely crazy amount of Democrats that are frankly just giving up and seemingly retiring and not even seeking re-election, many of them going to the private sector. And the next one is one that is truly fascinating. We are seeing so many Democrats straight up switch parties and become Republicans. You got Jeff Van Drew, Vernon Jones, a Texas Democrat.
Yeah, see, there's a ladder. There's a ladder right here. And then, is that an Oscar?
Probably.
And then down here it says something right here.
Active.
Observatory. Is that
I
observatory
think so. I'm not sure.
of Islam? I don't know. Anyway, that look, there's a ladder. See, that's what I said. I was seeing if there was something, some hidden.
A couple weeks ago, and now we have a North Las Vegas mayor who, after being elected as a Democrat, is now switching to the Republican Party. Democrats are, of course, absolutely furious with this one, and of course the whole thing, the whole mosaic, is painting one picture, and that picture is a change in Nancy Pelosi's job title circa 2022. We got some stuff to get into, but of course, before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We're still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers, and with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, take a look at this. Democrat mayor leaves party to join GOP, says that he, quote, can't stand with socialists. After being elected as a Democrat, North Las Vegas Mayor John Lee said on Fox and Friends that he is switching to the Republican Party. Take a look at this.
You say the Democratic Party is now being run by admitted socialists, and that's why you had to get out.
I'd say card-carrying socialists. In the Democratic Party in Nevada, they had an election recently for leadership, and 4 of the 5 people were card-carrying members of the Socialistic Party. It's not the party that I grew up with 25 years ago in this environment, and it's not the party I can stand with anymore.
And the Democratic Party you grew up with was the party of the working class, but you don't see that anymore.
No, the working class, the working men and women of this country, and also the small business owners are not a part of the conversation anymore. It all has to do with the elitists, and it has to do with the socialists. That is not the agenda that I have in mind for this country of the future.
And so you gotta love it, folks. And the question that pretty much immediately comes to mind, is this the first step signaling that potentially the state of Nevada goes red? I mean, just think about it. We covered some polling data a couple days ago, suggesting that now Latinos are 50-50 split between Democrats and Republicans. That could easily have an effect in Nevada, New Mexico, and Arizona. The state of Virginia might flip red. Wisconsin most likely is headed towards a red trajectory. It just seems like a far-reaching phenomenon that might flip certain states or even turn some states into Republican strongholds. Kind of like we're seeing with the state of Florida, for instance. And this has got to have Democrats absolutely panicking. It's one after another of Democrats just leaving the Democrat Party to join this new conservative movement on the Republican side. There's now even a Washington rumor that's swirling around that Senator Joe Manchin could defect from the Democrat Party after he sank Joe Biden's Build Back Better spending plan. And if Democrats aren't leaving the Democrat Party, well, they're just leaving politics altogether. Pelosi's majority crumbles as longtime New Jersey Democrat Albio Sires will not seek re-election. Democrats flee sinking ship as Representative Stephanie Murphy becomes the 22nd incumbent House Democrat to forego her election bid in 2022. And the numbers are quite staggering at this point. As the NPR is reporting House retirement trackers, senior Democrats exit as the GOP is confident of takeover. Departures from the House showing 22 Democrats are not seeking re-election or retiring, where on the Republican side we're only seeing 12. 12 is more in line with the regular number that you'd see, 22 Democrats. With more being announced each and every single day, it's pretty much game over for Nancy Pelosi, and what seem to be her totally bleak chances of winning the House. And speaking of bleak chances, top Democrat pollsters paint a bleak picture for Democrats, and they have the data to prove it. Democratic pollster Doug Schoen is sounding the alarm for the Democrats' 2022 midterm prospects. In fact, according to Schoen and fellow pollster Carly Cooperman, Democrats' political prospects are significantly deteriorating, and they have the data to prove it. Recent data collected by Schoen Cooperman Research proves that the Democrat Party is becoming increasingly unfavorable and vulnerable to massive losses in 2022. The key findings include 53% of likely voters believe Joe Biden hasn't paid enough attention to the country's most important problems compared to 38% who believe Biden's priorities are correct. 66% of likely voters agree that Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress are out of touch with hardworking Americans because they have been, quote, so focused on passing their own agenda, compared to 30% who believe Biden and Democrats are not out of touch. Whatever happened to Bernie Sanders' favorite talking point, that the overwhelming majority of Americans support our agenda? Even a Democrat pollster is telling you the complete opposite, and my apologies for such a horrid accent. 65% of likely voters agree that Biden has not improved the U.S. like he promised, compared to 31% who disagree. So despite that ridiculous memo that the Biden White House has been pushing out to the media, it seems as though a large, and I mean a hefty majority of Americans think that Joe Biden's
I would
failure.
love to sit down and talk to those 31% of people that disagree with Biden improving the U.S.
Because just those were ones that just Trump not being there is an improvement. Anything.
I would like, okay, gas prices is doubled. Our grocery bill has doubled. You got mob looting and riots left and right. You got robbery gangs running around cities, towns and stuff being burnt down. Businesses, you were losing businesses left and right, the little moms and pops, because of all the mandates in this. Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. The higher prices means that the little guy's getting paid higher wages.
But that doesn't compensate.
They
get a 3% raise in their pay, but then everything else is up 15%. They're still 12% behind.
No, you're seeing it wrong, because that other 12% is going to the government, who's now paying for their health care and everything. So they're getting.
I'm talking basic necessities.
So they're
like
getting.
food.
They're getting food stamps too. And the burning down the businesses and stuff. This is a capitalist country. We don't need those businesses. The government will supply us with everything that we need.
That's not a capitalist country.
We don't need capitalism.
That's not a capitalist country. Like you say, this is a capitalist country.
We see if it should be. It should be. That's where you're mistaken. That capitalism means slavery.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
Everybody has the equal opportunity
to be slaves. Everybody has an equal opportunity to be a slave, with the rich white man owning everything. You just don't understand. I just don't know how you just.
And you said all that bullshit with a straight face too. I see you tried not to smile, but you said it with a straight face. Just kept going up and like, okay.
But it sounded good, didn't it?
No, it sounded like pure hogwash.
But that's what they say.
I know, and it's still stupid.
Well, but it's
just because a group of people, lot of people. Let me even go so far as say, just because the majority of the people say it, don't mean it's true. I will go so far as to say that.
But see,
but we know it ain't the majority.
I could run as a Democratic candidate and be elected as a Democrat, because I know the whole spiel front to back and sideways. And then when I'm done, I could go, hey, by the way, I'm really a Republican. All that shit that I told you, fooled you. And what can they do? They got you for 2 or 4 years, and then you just work your ass off, make sure that you prove what you can, See, I told you. Yeah. But I would do that just for the fun of it. Well, let's
clearly outweigh his accomplishments. 52% of likely voters believe the economy was worsened because of Biden, compared to 36% who believe that it's stronger under Biden. Again, I thought Joe Biden was the greatest economic mastermind and jobs president in American history. As the Democrats keep trying to convince you, 71% of likely voters believe that Biden's policies are fully or partially to blame for inflation, compared to 24% who say Biden is not responsible for inflation. 69 to 23% of likely voters affirm that Biden and Democrats are soft on crime, and 67 to 18% of likely voters believe that the country is more divided, not more unified, compared to 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Folks, this is damning, and you know why that's important? Because that is pretty much every single promise that Joe Biden made. Joe Biden's going to reunite the country after Donald Trump, that evil orange man, created a seismic fracture between the two political sides. Joe Biden claimed that he was going to make the economy work for everybody, and clearly the middle and lower classes are being shafted. Joe Biden was going to end the pandemic. Clearly that's not the case, and just one after another. Crime, border, foreign policy, his agenda, and everything else. Everything seems to be a losing issue for the Democrats. Just as I've been saying, even the slim prospect of Joe Biden passing his Build Back Better plan won't be enough to stop this ship from sinking. The Democrats are coping, trying to convince themselves that if they just get that bill passed, then don't worry, we got this, folks. Back in and win it. But really, data is saying the exact
Build Back Better
opposite,
plan
with a
to me is
super
put Trump
majority
back
of
in
Americans.
The Build Back Better plan to me is put Trump back in office.
Well, yeah, right now this was the beat back Biden plan. The Build Back Better's when Trump comes in. Right now,
This is the amazing thing.
this is the beat back Biden.
He didn't. Okay, the Democrats have the House, the Senate, and the White House, and they're fucking up.
Oh yeah.
Now, with everybody flipping and changing sides, I predict they're gonna lose the Senate and the Congress.
But the problem you're going to have is the same thing that we had.
Right, and he's not gonna be able to get shit done.
Because the Republicans are going to be infighting just like the Democrats are now, and then you're still those Democrats that have converted to Republicans. They're the old straight line Democrats who still had a lot of conservative values as far as fiscal responsibility, but that they were still big on social spending because there should be a big social safety net for everybody, But they were still fiscally responsible.
At your own competence.
But I'm just saying. So the Republicans, when they get control again, the problem they're going to have is they need to nip the infighting in the bud right up front. But then they're also still going to have to deal with these former Democrats who are actually rhinos, the Republicans in name only. This whole thing that we want Manchin to come over, no, we really don't, because all he's going to do is be a rhino. He doesn't do us any, because he doesn't vote party line. He does us more good on that side of the fence than on this side of the fence. He's like that saboteur. That resistance. He's like a resistance fighter. He's in there amongst them, listening to their plans, and he's not passing on secrets, but he's still got enough of our ideology behind him that we might as well know what they're saying, because all we have to do is read and watch him, watch what he's doing and read what he's saying, and we know pretty much what they're saying, because if he's against it, then we are really going to be against it. If he's considering the merits of it, then we know we don't want it. But if he's against it or doesn't think that it's such a good idea, it needs some modification, then we know that, okay, this is what they're thinking, and
we're not going to like this.
We're not going to like this.
Claiming that they believe Joe Biden is in fact too focused on his own agenda and, quote, out of touch And so if you think about it and put everything together, if you compile all of these facts, all of this data, mixed in with the fact that Democrats at an unprecedented level are dropping out of re-election bids, and of course in the most extreme cases, literally joining the Republican Party, well, what does that say, or what does that spell? I'll tell you very quickly, it spells DOOM, doom, for Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and the Democrat establishment's election prospects. It's looking like the last 2 years of Joe Biden's first term in office might in fact be tainted by a Republican Senate majority and a massive majority in the House, turning Joe Biden into, best case scenario, President Lame Duck Biden, as the inevitable collapse of the Democrat establishment seems to be right around the corner. That's what I got for you guys though. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe.